my Hebrew Israelite brothers and sisters, the 12 tribes of Israel, scattered all over the earth, welcome back. This is your Moreh Yeshua Ben Israel, and just want to take this moment to thank you. Thank you so much for your subscriptions. Thank you for your likes. And thank you for your comments. Thank you for your prayers. Thank you so much. And we're just so glad to be back with you. Psalm 23. Psalm 23, I did it as a message and for Shabbat meditation, but there are some things that you rush it trying to get so much done in an hour, and it was a little different from the way we do the Bible study. So we're going to look at it, and we hope that as we review Psalm 23, the title of it is Yahuwah is my shepherd. Yahuwah is my shepherd. It's a Psalm of David. And we mentioned about this psalm that we did give a few introductory statements about the psalm, that it was written by King David during a time when he was fleeing from King Saul. If you remember the story, he was a young lad and was with King Saul, and was playing the harp, when the evil spirit takes him, he need the music, and we see there that David played the harp, and there are times when Saul didn't want to hear him. There are times when Saul wanted to see him. But he had been wandering from place to place. David was in exile from his own people, and constantly, living among strangers, even enemies. And, his life was continually being threatened. So Psalm 23 is basically an outpouring of David's confidence in Yahuwah, that, his trust in Yahuwah and his care, Yahuwah's care for him in every moment of his life, even to the point of death. So we see there that Yahuwah's loving care and concern, there could be no reason for him to fear, even before his enemies, there could no reason for him to fear. And we know that Yahuwah cares for us. He cares for each of us as his children, Hebrew Israelite people. And so we can see the imagery there, that David's thoughts had returned to the secure time. You remember when he served as a boyhood shepherd. You remember the story? His story is told that he even fought off lions with his bare hands, while he was a shepherd. And so the care that his sheep, had in him, trusted him to care for them. So he trusted Yahuwah, to be his shepherd. And so, my brothers and sisters, this is basically, a comforting thought for David to conceive that Yahuwah, conceive of Yahuwah as his shepherd. And, and then to sum it up, in the thought of Psalm 23, where he started by saying, I shall not want, I shall not lack, because the fact that Yahuwah is his shepherd. So the thought is as vivid, as comforting today as to the Hebrew Israelite brothers and sisters scattered all over the world, scattered all over the earth, my brothers and sisters. We think of those of us and those of our ancestors, and who continue to live, in the midst of racism, in the midst of suffering, in the midst of turmoil and frustration, and we know that Yahuwah is our shepherd. We know that we can say without a shadow of a doubt that he is our shepherd. And because he is our shepherd, we shall not lack. We shall not want. Praise his name. So we're going to look on this verse closely. These verses, we're going to look at them closely. All right, first verse, it said, Yahuwah is my shepherd, I shall not want. That is, because he is our shepherd, my brothers and my sisters, we shall not lack any good thing. One of the things is that, we need to pay attention to is the fact of our want, right? We are always in need of something, always in need of something, and if we stay close to Yahuwah as our shepherd, we are sure, we are confident, in him, we are confident in him, that he is going to meet our needs. Okay? Many times, we put our wants before our needs. He promises that he will not fail us in providing for us. So, in verse 1, we're looking at the fact that Yahuwah is our provider. When we talk about provision, my brothers and my sisters, we're looking at the fact that Yahuwah is our provider. He said, Yahuwah is my shepherd. In the King James Version, he said, the Lord is my shepherd. Yahuwah, he is our Elohim, and he is our shepherd. Okay? And he said the word lack here, the word want means lack, lacking. To need something, or to be lacking of something, like you have a decrease in something. Yahuwah, because he's our shepherd, all of that is vanished, it's gone. Kasar is kasir is a word, basically. Kasir is a word, and it means to lack, or to need, or to be lacking, or decrease, to be abated, or to be just to be decreased, cause to fail, to have lack, or to make lower, or to want something. The word kasir come from a primitive root, which really means to lack, or by implication to fail. Because Yahuwah is my shepherd, I shall not lack anything. Because Yahuwah is my shepherd, I shall not fail. Because Yahuwah is my shepherd, I shall not want. Because Yahuwah is my shepherd. Now listen. there's no abatedness, there's no decrease in, there's no make lower, because Yahuwah is my shepherd. I shall not fail, my brothers and my sisters. And he said, he maketh me to lie down in green pasture. If you were listening keenly to the message, if you had a chance to have, if you would, we did live stream, I did make mention about, the shepherd's job, one of his job. What is his real job? His real job as a shepherd is not just leading the sheep, to keep them from wild animals, from the tigers and the bears or the lions or whatever, wild dogs or, not only that, but the very tedious part of the shepherding, where the shepherd have to go through the pasture and look for holes, because when he sees those holes, he know that there are those certain kind of bugs that like to feed on the sheep and the blood, right? And so what would happen is that when the sheep ate and failed and ready to chew the cud, they were going to find a spot to lay down and to rest and chew the cuds. What would happen? Those little bugs would come up out of the ground, and then they would bite upon the sheep, suck the blood, and then the place where they bit, where they are bitten, okay, where the sheep are bitten, it would become infected, and if the shepherd is not paying attention, flies would lay eggs in it, in the wound, and after a while, the sheep would die, because maggots, if you understand the term, I hate to even use that word, would all over the, and would eat the flesh of the sheep. Sheep would get sick and die if they're not attended to at an early stage. So that was one of the jobs of the shepherd, in finding those holes and caulking them with sticks, wood, something to hinder the bugs from coming up. So this is why I say the verse here, verse 2 say, he maketh me to lie down in green pasture. And another, in other words, what we're saying here, the word is like a habitation. Habitation. That na'ah is a Hebrew word. It is nun, aleph, and he, na'ah. And what this word is here is saying is it means like habitation, is a house, pasture, a pleasant place. Pleasant place. So he maketh me to lay down in green pasture. It's a home, like a home. When the sheep when they're out there, my brothers and my sisters, it's like they're at home. And especially knowing that they have a good shepherd who cares for them. So then it's a habitation for the they can lay down in comfortable. It's like they're sheltered. The pasture, green. You never tell them to places where there's not enough food. Another element is the fact that sheep cannot eat from tall trees. They have to eat because they're not tall. They cannot stretch so far, up like, many of them, like a goat, they climb on trees and eat. The sheep don't do that. The sheep basically eat what is in front of them. And so it has to be pleasant for them. It has to be pleasant for them. Pasture, habitation is a house. It's a pleasant place, my brothers and my sisters. Praise his holy name. Praise his holy name. So, based on what he's saying here, he not only that he lead them in the green pasture, but he also lead them beside the still water. Beside the still water. And like sheep does not like to drink water when water is rough flowing. So you have to have the water have to be still, calm, And so this is what you do. And then this water here, my brothers and sisters, representing refreshness, refreshing. They're thirsty, they have to drink water. When you're thirsty, you have to drink water. And if you don't have a pipe running with water, and you have to go catch the water from someplace, you gotta, you want to make sure the water is drinkable, edible, And so the purpose of the water is refreshing. When you're thirsty, my brothers and sisters, nothing quench your thirst as much as it is a drink of water. So he maketh me to lie down in green pasture. And he leads me. The word leadeth there is in a continued participle, present participle, continued. A present participle means it continues. He continued to lead. He continued to lead me. Right? And he said, lead beside the still waters. Praise his name. Praise his name. And in verse 3, this is what he said here. And my brother, what I see there in verses 1 and is verse 1, we see where, the Lord is providing for us, right? And then in verse 2, we see the Lord, YAHUAH. He is, guiding us. The way he leads, right? He's our leader and he's our guide. Praise his name. And here in verse 3 now, he is our protection. He's protecting us. As we see here, this is what he said, he restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the path of righteousness for his name's sake. So the word restoreth here is a word shub. And what he's saying here is like turning something back. To turn back or to return. It's like return to the former state. Like, okay. When you turn away from YAHUAH, gone out into the world and sin and degradation, and you hear his pleading, his voice, calling you to return to him. Sometimes it is through reading his word, sometimes it is through a messenger, a prophet of YAHUAH. And you decide to return, to him. You're restoring, that means you're restoring your fellowship with him. You're restoring your relationship with him. So what he does here is bring you back to the place where he once had you. Restore my soul. And so we're going to stop here, my brothers and sisters, because our time is gone for this allotted. And we come right back to this. Okay? So we're going to ask you to be a blessing to someone today, my brothers and sisters, and walk with the King. Shalom.